free college football picks, week 9, part 6. I'm Tony T here with our college football pick show here for Saturday's games here. Well, we're going to finish it off here with the final 9, so that means we got 47 done for this week. Before we get underway with them, just a couple things. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Free college football picks are updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports. We also have NBA. We also have NFL. We also have NHL, World Series, and more. It's a good time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel, hit the thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Then visit Tony'sPicks.com, our multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the link to the hot cappers. Get signed up to some of our long-term passes. You can see some of the hot cappers up here, like Ben has been hot. We got Nick, Ramon, Tiffany. We got Nick as well as Paul. Click the link and get signed up. Here in the center, you'll see our featured picks. Also, our best bets. Each capper can sell one best bet per sport per day. So we have many of them up there right now. So get signed up to them. Also, our $15 premium pick. Each capper can designate one of their picks from their card as a $15 premium pick. This is showcase their service. You can see many of them up on the site right now. Our 3-packs are very popular as well, so many 3-packs on the board. Check out our pick ticker for individual plays for sale. Also, late steamer up here. Late steam plays, we're going to hit at high percentages. These are plays that are released between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time. And those of you that are on long-term passes, you'll be emailed the pick in your email box, or those that are not can buy this pick a la carte if you would. So that one is also a late steamer here on the board, available for sale on a la carte right now. Guys, just want to make note here of our promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Access our page by clicking the link in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Also love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments. We are looking for cappers, so you can apply over on our page down at the footer section. And again, every pick in podcast form over in our podcast, Tony's Picks Podcast, available on all major platforms. We love your truckers out there. If you can listen to our picks through any podcast format. Now, you guys know which ones, through your Bluetooth in your truck, in your car, you're commuting, coming home from work, working out, laying down. Tony's Picks, every pick in podcast form. Full shows on podcast form now. Check us out. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Michigan State versus a Michigan college football pick. This one's on Saturday. Michigan State 3-4 after their 34-28 home overtime win to Wisconsin. Spartans posted 389 yards in the game with 99 rushing on 39 carries. Defensively, they held the Badgers to only 283 yards, 131 through the air. Peyton Thorne, a season-high 72% completion rate, 2 touchdowns, 9.1 yards per attempt. In conference play, Thorne 66% completions, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, 6.4 yards per attempt. Michigan improved to 7-0 after their 41-17 home win at Penn State as they hit the bye. Wolverines gained 563 yards with 418 rushing on 55 carries. Defensively, they limited the Nittany Lions to 157 passing yards on 29 attempts, 268 yards for the game here. J.J. McCarthy, 71% completion rate, interception, 6 yards per attempt. This season, McCarthy, 77% completions, 9 yards per attempt. On the road, Michigan State is surrendering 496 yards, 355 passing with 69% completion rate. They do move the football through the air on the road at 272 yards passing away from home. The play will be Michigan and Michigan State over 55. Baylor versus Texas Tech college football pick Saturday. Baylor, they're now 4-3 after their 35-23 home win at Kansas. Bears gained 437 yards with 237 rushing on 57 carries. Defensively, Baylor held the Jayhawks to 56 rushing yards with 232 passing on 27 attempts. Blake Shapen, 65% completions, 6.3 yards per attempt. He had a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Now this season, Shapen, 68% completion rate, 8.6 yards per attempt. Now Texas Tech 4-3 after their 48-10 home win to West Virginia. Red Raiders, a Big 12 season high, 594 yards. 239 rushing on 54 carries. They held the Mountaineers to under 3 yards per rush and 209 passing yards on 40 attempts. Tyler Shaw has missed the past 6 games due to a shoulder injury. Baylor on the road giving up 283 yards passing with 7.5 yards per attempt. Defense not as strong as last season. They are moving the football through the air. The play will be Baylor and Texas Tech over 62.5. Mississippi versus Texas A&M college football pick Saturday. Ole Miss fell to 7-1 after their 45-20 road defeat at LSU. Rebels gained 405 yards in defeat, 117 rushing on 37 carries. Now defensively, Ole Miss surrendered over 5 yards per rush, 248 passing yards on 28 attempts. Jackson Dart 56% completions in defeat with a pick and 8.4 yards per attempt. In the SEC play, Dart 59% completions, 6 touchdowns, 5 picks, 9.4 yards per pass attempt. Texas A&M drops to 3-4 after their 30-24 road defeat at South Carolina. Aggies produced 398 yards with 129 on the ground. That's on 28 carries. Haynes King, season low, 53% completions, 5.6 yards per attempt. This season, King 57% completions, 6 touchdowns, 6 picks, 6.6 yards per attempt. A&M in home FBS game scored 17 against Miami, 14 a loss at Appalachian State. Play here will be Ole Miss -1.5. Pittsburgh versus North Carolina college football pick Saturday. Pittsburgh drops to 4-2 after their 24-10 road defeat to Louisville. Panthers gained 326 yards with 168 rushing on 37 carries. On defense, they held the Cardinals to 4 yards per rush and 190 passing on 27 attempts. Keaton Slovis, 55% completions in the loss, 2 interceptions, 5.4 yards per attempt. On the season, the USC transfer Carrillo, 60% completions, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 7.5 yards per attempt. North Carolina 6-1 after their 38-35 road win at Duke, hitting the bye week. Tar Heels offense gained 536 yards rushing, 536 yards. They rushed for 156 on 35 carries. Defensively, they surrendered 7.5 yards a carry, 245 passing yards with 31 attempts. Drake May completed 74% of his passes in the win, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 yards per attempt. In ACC play, May 71% completion rate with 10.2 yards per attempt. You know, May in the better form between these two quarterbacks. Play here will be North Carolina -3. Middle Tennessee State versus UTEP college football pick Saturday. Middle Tennessee State 3-4 after their 35-17 home defeat to Western Kentucky. Blue Raiders offense produced only 291 yards. They ran it for 63 on 26 carries. On defense, the Blue Raiders allowed 4.5 yards per rush, 278 passing yards on 40 attempts. Chase Cunningham, 63% completion rate in defeat, 4.5 yards per attempt. On the year, Cunningham career high, 66% completions, 6.6 yards per attempt. UTEP, they're now 4-4 after their 24-21 home win to FAU. Miners offense gained 412 yards with 234 rushing on 41 carries. On defense, they allowed 4 yards per rush to the Owls with 164 passing on 20 attempts. Gavin Hardison, 61% completions in that victory, 6.8 yards per attempt. This season, Hardison, 52% completion rate, 6.7 yards per attempt. Blue Raiders have lost 3 straight, all in Conference USA. In this period, Middle Tennessee State gave up 282 passing yards with 8 yards per attempt. Blue Raiders run game struggling, and the Miners have defended the pass well. Play here will be UTEP at -2.5. San Diego State versus Fresno State college football pick Saturday. San Diego State improves to 4-3 after their 23-7 road win at Nevada. Aztecs gained 317 yards with 161 rushing on 39 carries. Defensively, the Aztecs held the Wolfpack to under 2 yards per rush with 192 passing on 41 carries. Jalen Maiden completed 48% of his passes with 6.2 yards per attempt. In his 2 games, Maiden 59% completion rate, a touchdown, and 7.8 yards per attempt. Fresno State, they sit at 3-4 after their 41-9 road win at New Mexico. Bulldogs in FBS season high at 510 yards with 285 rushing on 50 carries. On defense, they limited the Lobos to just over 3 yards per carry with 51 passing yards on 17 attempts. Jake Hayner is week to week with a leg injury. Backup Logan 5, 65% completions in the win, 7.8 yards per attempt. On the year, 5, 68% completion rate, 2 touchdowns, 6 picks, 7.4 yards per attempt. Aztecs have defended the pass well this year. On offense, they are producing 4.7 yards per rush to play here. San Diego State here at +9. Nevada versus San Jose State college football pick Saturday. Nevada, they fell to 2-6 after their 23-7 home defeat to San Diego State. Rebuilding Wolfpack gained 227 yards with 35 rushing on 21 carries. On defense, they allowed 4 yards per carry with 156 passing on 25 attempts. Nate Cox just 25% completions with a season low 1.4 yards per attempt. Shane Illingworth, relieved, completed 63% of his passes, 5.5 yards per attempt. The Oklahoma State transfer, a 61% completion rate, 4.8 yards per attempt. San Jose State is 4-2 after their 17-10 road defeat at Fresno State as they hit the bye. Spartans posted 331 yards with 37 rushing on 23 carries. Defensively, they held the Bulldogs to 3 yards a carry and 230 passing yards on 32 attempts. Hawaii transfer Chevin Cordero, a season low 49% completions with 302 yards and 6.7 yards per attempt. On the year, Cordero, 56% completion, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, 7.8 yards per attempt for the Hawaii transfer. Both defenses playing well the past 3 games. Nevada in this period just allowing 287 yards with 2.7 yards per rush. Is their offense right now, not moving the football. That 287 yards was their past 3 games offensively. The play will be Nevada and San Jose State to go under 44.5. Stanford versus UCLA college football pick Saturday. Stanford, they're now 3-4 after their 15-14 home win to Arizona State. Cardinal moved the football for 398 yards, 78 of it rushing on 25 carries. Defensively, they allowed 4 yards per rush to ASU with 227 yards passing on 26 attempts. Tanner McKee, well, he completed 58% in the win, 320 yards, but only 5.6 yards per attempt. Season to date, McKee, 63% completions, 7.5 yards per attempt. UCLA, they're now 6-1 after their 45-30 road defeat at Oregon. In that game, the Bruins posted 448 yards, 186 on the ground on 30 carries. Defensively, the Bruins gave up over 6 yards a carry on the ground to the Ducks, along with 262 passing yards on 28 carries. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 69% completions, in a season low 6.7 yards per attempt. On the year, Thompson-Robinson, career highs here, 74% completion rate, 8.8 yards per attempt. At home, the Bruins are averaging 504 yards a game and putting up 41 points. Cardinal running for only 2.7 yards per rush on the road and surrendering 6.5 yards to carry on the ground to opponents. Play here, UCLA, minus the 16.5. Wyoming versus Hawaii college football pick Saturday. Wyoming moved to 5-3 after their 28-14 home win to Utah State. Cowboys a season high 529 yards, 330 rushing on 50 carries. Defensively, they held the Aggies to 3 yards a carry with 104 passing on 26 attempts. Andrew Peasley completed 50%, 7.7 yards per attempt on the year. Peasley, 53% completion rate, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks, 6.1 yards per attempt. Hawaii, they're 2-6 after their 17-13 road defeat at Colorado State. The Rainbows gained 257 yards with 84 on the ground. On defense, they allowed 5 yards per rush with 177 yards passing on 24 attempts. Braden Shager, 60% completions in the loss, 5.8 yards per attempt. Shager on the year, 58% completion rate, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks, 6.1 yards per attempt. You know, the Cowboys allowed 14 points per game in each of their past 2. Hawaii's given up nearly 6 yards a carry this season. Wyoming's running game sharp last week. Play here will be Wyoming at minus the 11.5. All right, that was our college football pick show here for Saturday as we completed the all 6 parts. So guys, make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications, visit our site, TonySpicks.com for our best bets. Click the link in the description below and get signed up. And don't forget, you can get all our videos now on podcast form. Tony Spicks Podcast, available on all major platforms, full-length shows on podcast form as well. We love our truckers out there as well as our commuters. So check us out. And you guys and your gym rats. All right, so check us out on the podcast. I'm Tony T, back later with more picks.